Thanks to viewer Anthony. He wrote me on Instagram that Hanhart has released a new variant of a monopusher chronograph. Could that be a Watch of the Week episode? Definitely. And I'm speaking about the Hanhart Pioneer Mk Reverse Panda. That's a monopusher with this badass look many Hanhart fans love. Here, design, functionality and size make a very interesting watch. So let's start with the specifications. We have an automatic watch with a case diameter of 40 mm, length 48, height 15 and a lug width of 20 mm. The watch has a chronograph with two sub-dials, seconds on the left, a 30-minute counter on the right. And monopusher here of course means that you start, stop and reset the chronograph with only one button. The case is waterproof up to 100 meters and inside sits a modified ETA 7753, so the successor of the legendary Valjoux 7750. The watch comes on a calf leather strap and the price is 2,090 euros with 19% VAT included, or 1,737 US dollars. Okay, first let's spot the typical Hanhart hallmarks. There is this distinctive logo, the coin edge bezel and cathedral hands. It's kind of a strange mixture because it looks pretty old school and tooly at the same time, ready for action so to speak. The job of these cathedral hands might be a reinforcement of the massive loom planes there. Without metal frames the loom could crack, as you see it sometimes on old Zenith watches. The function behind the coin edge bezel is unclear to me unfortunately, but it makes the watch recognizable. And then we have of course these typical red accents, so all the chronograph hands, the 12 and the pusher. The red on the pusher, by the way, is borrowed from the past when Bundeswehr pilots painted it red. It really screams alert and that's what we want to hear. You also see the H on the crown and the overall brushed case. The case is pointedly unattractive because of the genre and the history. I mean, subtract the lugs and you have a part from a fuel pump. And with all these components, Hanhart delivers a certain presence on the wrist. I discovered that when I had a historic piece from the 50s here, together with its modern reissue. They look like pieces from another era, but lively and somewhat dark, in a fascinating way. And the white sub-dials now add bright eyes into the darkness. I must admit I still prefer the all-black version, but that's personal taste. But I said at the beginning also the size is interesting, because there already was a Pioneer monoscope, so with one pusher, but also with a case diameter of 45 mm, which is for many people simply too much. 40 is now a very contemporary size, fits the genre, sits nicely on the wrist without too many compromises. Note for example that they didn't cut away parts of the 10, 8, 2 and 4. Watch brands often do this when a big watch becomes small, but not always, as we may note here with some satisfaction. The piece is with 15 mm still relatively high. That's because of the 7753, which is high. But I had many of these watches on the wrist and they felt okay. Sure, not that super comfortable like that 70s Omega Genève, but solid. And you feel that rotor, it's a machine on the wrist and call me crazy, but in case of Flieger watches, I like it. And all this for a price that speaks to us, that tells us, guys, I'm okay, I'm a good price. I'm not part of that movement that wants to sell people solid mid-range watches at the price of a world rarity. And so this watch really earned its wow episode, and that said, allow me to stop here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and see you next Monday to Watch of the Week.